We'll tell you about the main news at 9 a.m. this Friday on TSN. We're looking forward to your comments on the broadcast and would appreciate your subscription. A 74-year-old man was wounded by an enemy attack on the Stepnohursk community in Zaporizhzhia. Russians attacked him with a drone at dawn. His condition is serious and doctors are already caring for him, Ivan Fedorov, head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration, reported. Since last night, the Russians have been attacking the Kyiv region with drones. In the Borispil district, debris from a downed Shahed drone fell on a 60-year-old man. He was hospitalized. He is currently in stable condition. The Russians sent about 20 drones toward the capital. Kyiv residents heard powerful explosions. It is known that drones were shot down in several districts. Debris fell onto the roadway and damaged the trolleybus network. The Kyiv-Pastrans communication networks were also damaged. There may be problems with paying for transportation. The occupiers attacked Dnipropetrovsk region with guided aerial bombs, drones, and artillery. A private house caught fire and another was destroyed. A business and a car were damaged. The situation on the front in Kharkiv region is critical. The Russians are putting pressure on the defenders of Kupiansk. A counter-sabotage operation is currently underway there. The Ukrainian armed forces are clearing the city of saboteurs who had infiltrated abandoned houses on its outskirts the day before. The head of the city military administration, Andriy Besedin, said that the situation in the city is under control, with many Russian soldiers killed and taken prisoner. However, quite a few enemies are infiltrating the urban area, as the front line is now less than a kilometer from the city limits. Currently, more than 1,700 residents remain in the Kupiansk community, with over 700 people on the right bank. The enemy is also advancing near Kindrashivka, Stepova Novoselivka in the Kharkiv region, and Nova Ivanivka in the Zaporizhzhia region. This was reported by analysts from the Deep State portal. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces have launched a counteroffensive in the Donetsk region. In the Dobropilia-Pokrovsk direction, 7 settlements have been liberated, and about 100 Russians have been taken prisoner. This was reported by President Zelensky, who visited this section of the front.
In the area of Pokrovsk and Dobropilia, there are fierce battles, but we have managed to inflict significant losses on the Russians. Since the start of the operation, our soldiers have already liberated 160 square kilometers, and more than 170 square kilometers have been cleared of the occupiers. We have significantly increased our exchange fund. There are already nearly 100 Russian prisoners. 7 settlements have already been liberated in this direction, and another 9 have been cleared of Russian presence.
1,000 interceptor drones per month. Very soon, Ukraine will be able to produce such a quantity, promises Defense Minister Shmyhal. He reminds that the president set this task back in July. And during this time, manufacturers have managed to significantly increase production volumes. The Ministry of Defense does not disclose exactly how many units are already being produced, but they say the process is on schedule. Moreover, it's not just about the interceptors. Along with them, it is also necessary to produce ground control stations, radars, and a number of other systems. Because thanks to this, the interceptors can effectively shoot down enemy drones.
I have to repeat, it's not just about producing 1,000 drones. We can reach that level very quickly, even right now. This is just the tip of the iceberg of this large coordinated system that needs to work, which includes EW systems, radars, acoustic sensors, and so on. It's a large complex, and in fact, its implementation takes a significant period of time.
Promptly, without queues or paperwork. The Rada has passed a law on a unified system of social services. An integrated platform is being created in Ukraine that pulls data from most registries. In particular, information about civil status, real estate, medical data, judicial tax, and other registries. The unified system will provide Ukrainians with access to services, eliminating the need to visit administrative and social service centers. The unified platform will also speed up the calculation and payment of benefits for internally displaced persons, military personnel, pensioners, and other recipients of social payments, as explained in Parliament.
The main goal of adopting this bill is to make all social services accessible to citizens, free of charge, and comfortable to receive. There will no longer be any need to bring certificates about certificates, and so on. No paperwork at all.
There are currently no queues at the border crossing points with Poland. This was reported by the State Border Guard Service, which had previously warned about a buildup of cars at the Sheheni checkpoint. The delay there was due to repair work on the Ukrainian side and, at the same time, the testing of the biometric control system conducted by the Polish side. Starting from October 12th, the EU is introducing a new digital control system for citizens of third countries. The system requires mandatory collection of biometric data, specifically facial images and fingerprints. This applies both when entering Ukraine and when leaving the country. Therefore, Ukrainians were warned that even the testing of the system could increase the time required to pass through control. The day before, the situation at the Polish border had normalized. A small queue was recorded only at the Krakowicz checkpoint on September 18th, according to Andriy Demchenko, spokesperson for the State Border Guard Service.
At the present moment, fortunately, we are not currently seeing any significantly large queues accumulating at the international border. In certain specific directions, for example, at the Kyiv checkpoint, there are currently approximately 60 cars. At other directions, including the Shehini checkpoint, the queues are significantly smaller indeed.
A deputy helping men evade military service was detained in Carpathia. Besides being a Nadvirna City Council deputy, he also held a position at the Territorial Recruitment Center. He helped people pass military medical commissions and process disability documents. Each service for obtaining a third-degree disability had its own price list. If a client took all the services as a package, the deputy charged them $1,500. He was caught red-handed just while receiving part of the bribe. The court placed him in custody but allowed for bail set at only 90,000 hryvnias. Law enforcement is checking whether he had any accomplices. A motorcycle escort for draft-age men trying to flee. A group of men escorting draft dodgers was detained near the Romanian border. The escapees were traveling in a passenger car accompanied by 5 bodyguards on motorcycles. According to the plan, near the border, the men were supposed to swim across the Tisa River. When the border guards spotted them, the whole group along with their escorts tried to escape, but they were detained. In Ternopil, a TCC employee was detained behind the wheel and under the influence. While fleeing from the police, he rammed several cars. The patrol officers tried to stop him back on the highway outside the city, but he stepped on the gas and was only intercepted in Ternopil. There, during the escape, the driver of the car rammed 2 police vehicles, then hit a truck and another car. On top of that, he ran over a patrol officer's leg. The driver was eventually stopped and detained. He was an employee of the District Military Enlistment Office, 31 years old. The breathalyzer indicated very intoxicated. The police found out something else. A few hours earlier, the driver had caused 2 more accidents outside the city. He was charged with administrative offenses under 4 different articles at once, and for resisting law enforcement, he also faces criminal proceedings. Artificial eye lens implantation is free of charge. The Ministry of Health has officially approved a comprehensive list of nearly 100 medical institutions where patients with cataracts can effectively restore their vision under the Medical Guarantees Program. The entirely free package for eligible patients includes a thorough consultation with an ophthalmologist, detailed preoperative diagnostics, precise cataract removal surgery, advanced lens implantation including the implant itself, and diligent postoperative monitoring. For medical institutions, the cost of such treatment is over 28,000 hryvnias, which is paid by the National Health Service. Every year, approximately 100,000 Ukrainians need lens replacement surgery, according to Deputy Minister of Health Yevhen Honchar. This year, 20,000 such surgeries have already been performed.
It's quite hard to really talk about the waiting list because right now we simply don't have any effective tool to manage the queue, whether it is centralized or decentralized. Institutions are currently handling this particular issue on their own. From my conversations with the institutions, I can say that there aren't really any significant queues. If a patient truly needs it, the necessary procedure will be performed for them within a week or a few weeks at the appropriate designated healthcare facility.
Kyiv saw a unique light installation on the Motherland Monument last night. This large-scale project became the epic finale of the international conference Brand Ukraine, and its preparation took more than half a year. The installation was called The Power of Values. According to the creator's concept, it reflects the 5 main values of the Ukrainian people: freedom, resilience, love, justice, and unity.
This is the first art piece of its kind. Powerful 3D graphics will be projected onto the entire surface of the Motherland Monument, including the pedestal. It will create the illusion that we are looking inside into the soul and heart of the symbol of Ukraine.
This illuminating light projection clearly reveals these fundamental values, which are indeed universal human rights. The very first frosts have now truly begun to settle in Ukraine. At the very top of the majestic Pip Ivan mountain in the Carpathian mountain range, a chilling -2 degrees Celsius was precisely recorded. Dedicated mountain rescuers thoughtfully attached a compelling photo showing the historic observatory clearly visible through the thick, glistening frost, and the sturdy tables positioned next to it were gently covered with a delicate, thin layer of freshly fallen snow. Despite the frost on the peaks, it's still warm autumn down below. The sun warms the air up to 25 degrees. Rain clouds are retreating across all of Ukraine, but in different regions, gusts of wind are making the weather less comfortable. And by the end of the week, the air in Ukraine is expected to warm up to as much as 28 degrees in September. At this moment, that was the latest update. Don't miss our upcoming TSN broadcast to stay up to date with the latest events.